Hey, what's happening, gamers? Welcome back to the Grace Ace Attorney Chronicles on K-Wing's Let's Plays. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to never miss an episode. And special thanks to our friends over at Capcom for providing a copy of this game. So today we are going to be embarking on the second half of the trial for Chapter 1 of The Great Departure. And I'm thankful that a female lead will be in this episode, so I won't have to be doing 7 or 8 voices.
Oh, you mean I'll be the old man again? What?
Old man and female character. The
okay.
English woman.
English woman.
English woman.
Oh, I forgot to practice my English accent.
This'll be good.
Uh-oh.
So, hopefully...
Good day, Governor.
Oh, gosh, no. Hopefully everybody's having a good one. And we're ready to continue the story.
Awesome. Great to see you guys in the chat. And don't forget our contest on the first video. Thanks again, Capcom, for providing a copy of this game.
That's right. Okay, November 22nd, 11:38 a.m. Supreme Court, Judicature, Defendants,
Antechamber 5.
Number 5.
I've actually never heard the word Judicature before.
Excellent work, Ryunosuke. That was superb. My heart was in my mouth the entire time. It was almost unbelievable. I mean, looking at you in there. You were drenched in sweat, your eyes popping, your knees knocking, and your grinding of your teeth. It was a grim sight, but before I knew it, you had started finding inconsistencies in the testimonies. You did well, my friend. I think you might have a natural talent for being a lawyer. Forget it, it's terrifying. If I get through this, I don't ever want to see the inside of a courtroom again. Famous last words. Anyway, it looks like we've exposed your Phantom Lady at last.
That's right!
Huh! Miss, Jazeel Brett, a student from Great Britain, is she? That's what I was trying to tell everyone from the start. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone. There was a young woman with him, like I've been saying all along. Yes, you have, haven't you? I might not be overly confident in the courtroom, but my powers of observation are one thing I'm sure of.
That's right.
Yes, I can see that. So, how about this young gentlewoman? Thanks to our detective friend, she was hastily escorted away from the scene, it seems.
She did it. I know she did.
Did you see what happened with that? No, I didn't see any of it, actually.
Oh, that's weird.
I was just on my way out of the restaurant myself, then on the floor next to me was Dr. Wilson's table. I noticed there was a gun lying on the floor, and, well, I just bent down to pick it up, and here we are.
Why did you pick it up, Ryunosuke?
It was shiny. I didn't have to think about where the sound of the gunshot had come from. Oh, sorry. The waiter ran over to me looking as white as a sheet, and he bundled me into something sort of small pantry next to the kitchen. Fast thinking by the detective. He apprehended his subject without a moment's delay.
That's right.
Yes, and because I was shut in the pantry, I have no idea what happened outside in the dining hall. Jinx. Ah. There you are. Well done, both of you. Oh, this guy again. Sorry. Professor.
Mikotoba.
Yes, that. Well, it seems I was right. The pair of you make an outstanding team. You're exceeded my expectations, I have to say. Yes. It seems you planned for this from the very start. You arranged things so that I wouldn't be able to act as a lawyer in this trial. Our modern country is still in its infancy. Our justice system even more so. Which is why... I firmly believe that we need to send our brightest young stars overseas to learn all they can. I wanted to avoid a situation that may have resulted in your study tour to Great Britain being cancelled.
Yeah, but that means this guy's gonna lose.
Well, it makes no difference. Lawyer or otherwise, if I am the kind of man who can't help his best friend avert the worst crisis of his life, I shouldn't waste everyone's time by going to study overseas anyway. What? What are you saying? So that is your stance. Huh. I was afraid you'd feel that way. Kazuma! Well then, it looks like it comes down to you, young man. To me?
Yep.
Yes. You need to prove your innocence and uncover what really took place in that restaurant.
Ooh.
I must say I'm very much want to know the truth as well. After all, I have a personal connection to this case. Come to think of it, he said the same thing earlier this morning, didn't he? If you don't mind me asking, Professor, did you know the victim? Yes, I did. As you're probably aware, Dr. John H. Wilson was a visiting professor at Yumi, and it was I who invited him. Oh, I see.
Oops.
I didn't know that before. Anyway, you're about to go into battle. The victim was a university professor from Great Britain, and well-known one at that. Naturally, our government is looking to identify and punish the culprit as quickly as possible. But let's not forget who we're going up against. The gentlewoman whose involvement our police bureau went to extraordinary lengths to hide. Ah!
Nani?
Yes, and I am sure the prosecution will be using every tool at their disposal to quash our case. But I've no doubt that the pair of you will be a good fight, right to the last. Best of luck, my students. Thank you! Thank you! Now then,
What do you got to...
I need you to run an errand at the university at once. There is something I think we may need.
Of course. Good luck, Kazuma-sama.
Very polite she is. Defendant Naruhodo! Courtroom recess is over. Make your way back inside the courtroom at once, please. It is time. Let us get back to it, partner. Let's go in there and deal a decisive blow. Before those old fossils know what hit them. Kazuma? What is it now, Ryunosuke? What? Thank you, really. What for? Well, if it wasn't, if you hadn't said you believed in me then, I'm fairly sure I'd already been found guilty by now. Look, I have faith in you. As a lawyer and as a friend. Coming from you, that means a lot, buddy.
Yay.
More inner monologue.
Friendship.
If I'm found guilty in this trial, he's really gonna give up on his dream of studying abroad? That's the kind of true friend he is, I guess. So this just isn't my battle anymore. Whoever we're up against, we absolutely cannot afford to lose. Alright then. I'll save the thank yous for after the trial. You can treat me to one of those,
Sukiyaki meals.
Yeah, that. Sukiyaki meals I like from Yumi Cafeteria on the University Street. Haha, with an extra large portion, of course.
Alright. DRA 222 says, you can do it, Phoenix's ancestor.
That's right. Do we have
What?
that's charged?
There's one charging over there. I don't know if it's charged. 22nd of November, 12:09 p.m. Supreme Court of Judicature, Courtroom 2. And again, guys, this is kind of a live Let's Play. We will look at the chat once in a while, but there's a ton of dialogue.
The court hereby resumes the trial of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Whoop. Prosecutor Ouchie, have you managed to subpoena the witness?
Yes, Your Excellency, against all odds. And thanks to a certain young stripping, the prosecution is now under rather painful scrutiny from our government.
Sorry about that. Let the government scrutinize. That is their job. It's nothing to worry about.
That's right.
It's highly unlikely that the good relations we've forged with Great Britain will emerge from this trial unscathed.
Who cares? We're looking for the truth.
Will you still think it's nothing to worry about when the new treaty breaks down and our nation founders? Our nation founders, what?
I don't know what he said.
Again, terribly sorry.
Sweat marks.
If the friendship between our nations is really so fragile, then the treaty isn't worth the paper it's written on. You really have nothing to worry about, Ryunosuke.
What do you mean?
A secret trial, anxiety over some foreign government's opinions, a bungled investigation, missing witnesses. Is this what our nation's justice system is? Is this the Supreme Court of Japan? Or of England?
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! You jumped up, rookie boy! You and your friend know nothing! Nothing of the situation our nation finds itself in! But aligning ourselves with this great world power will become strong! Diplomacy has never been more critical! Steady political maneuvering is what we will secure our futures? Futures, I think?
Yep.
I won't deny that I'm no expert. I'm just a student and one who would arguably study harder too. But standing here now in the Supreme Court, there's one thing that I feel very strongly. A country that fails to uphold the truth in its justice system is a country with no future at all.
What?
Whoa. Good point. Yep, that's right, Rebecca. The truth will set us free.
Well said, Ryunosuke. Despite the wide-eyed look of terror.
You little brats!
Thank you, Consul. This court is the pinnacle of our nation's justice system and exists solely for the pursuance of truth, I think. With that in mind, this trial will now resume with the next witness taking the stand. The visiting student from Great Britain, Miss Jazeel Brett.
Yes! Your Excellency!
Man, I really should have practiced an English accent. Oh well.
Oh wow, she is stereotypical British.
Whoa, look at that hat.
Victorian. That is one hat.
Ah, well, what a delight it is to welcome you, such a fine gentlewoman, to Japan, and from such a distant land, too.
Tea? Someone bring English tea! In England, no discussions take place without tea! Is that true? No idea.
Could we possibly trouble you to state your name and occupation for the court, pretty please?
Of course. My name is Sotaro Husanaga, I think. Or not. I have been working undercover as the head waiter at...
Yes, we know all that, you nincompoop. I'm asking...
Inspector, where are your manners? In England, it's always ladies first. Is that true? No idea.
They're trying to...
More importantly, a little earlier today you said something to me?
They're trying to impress the people from England.
Yeah. You said your powers of observation are one thing you're sure of. Yes, I think I did, didn't I? Yet your description of this amazing sight was simply a woman? Sorry, Ryunosuke, but powers of observation aside, your powers of description are sorely lacking. Guilty?
So, dear lady, once again, if I may trouble you for your name and occupation, pretty please?
She's thinking about... She's wearing a mask? Huh?
Wait, was she speaking a different language?
I'm terribly sorry, dear lady, but what did you just say?
I'm speaking to you in English. You need to speak in Japanese.
I see.
The lady says her name is Jazeel Brett. She comes from London, England. She's visiting research student currently enrolled in Yumi University's medical facility.
Why is this my...
Wait. You're going to, oh my, what a rare treat to hear delicate tones of the delightful language of the British people. Blast! I have to do all the voices again.
Yes, quite.
I'm afraid I don't understand a word you said, but it was beautiful as a hummingbird song.
As far as I can tell... The detective is translating her words faithfully enough.
Oh my gosh.
Dang it! Yes, I agree. You'll obviously do fine in England, Kazuma. Her English doesn't rattle you at all, does it? Nor you. You've clearly been paying attention in your English classes, Ryunosuke. The court thanks the beautiful lady for taking the stand. Now, if we may trouble you to confirm something, Miss Brett? 3 days ago, at a restaurant called Le Carnaval, I think, a grim murder took place. I don't speak French! The court has been led to believe that you were dining there with the victim, Dr. Wilson, at the time. Is that correct? Whisper, 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 whisper.
Heebie-jeebie-jeebie. Heavy. Boo.
She says yes.
I don't know.
This could take some time.
I don't know what to say.
Oh my gosh. So even though she's studying here in Japan, she can't speak any Japanese?
CBDBDB-doobie-doobie. I don't know. Yes. And yes, quite.
She'd like to apologize for disappearing from the scene. She says that she was due to make a presentation at the university, so she had to leave immediately.
Yes, I did.
Interesting. When you were the one who engineered her escape. I was just following special orders from the Bureau.
Well now, dear lady, would you be so as kind to cast your eyes over this photographic print? I am Ouchie. Seeing as you were so unfortunately present at the crime scene, could it be that your, resplendent eyes caught sight of the wicked perpetrator, perhaps?
I don't know what to say.
Mika! Excuse me. Apparently it was very frightening and sorrowful sight. Do you mean to say... R.I.P. K-Wing's voice? Yes. It would appear the lady did witness the crime. The very moment the accused standing right there was in this courtroom and shot the victim in cold blood.
What? Lies! Wow, look at her huge dress. Oh my gosh.
Order! Order in this court!
Did you hear that right, Your Excellency? Here we have an absolutely conclusive witness statement.
How do you know he's even translating her right?
I don't know. Well, it looks like it's clear now. Clear who our real enemy is. Huh?
The lady. She's lying.
Unfortunately, I will have to ask you to formally testify if you please. Kindly tell this court the exact nature of this frightening and sorrowful sight you described. Whisper, 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 whisper. Quite right.
Indeed.
Oh boy.
I hate this.
This is not what I was expecting.
So maybe I can I don't know.
Maybe you could, what?
Speak it instead of his translation? It's fine. We'll just figure it out. I don't know. We'll just play it how it's supposed to be. At crumpets, tea, and lollipops.
I had arranged to meet for a slightly late luncheon with Dr. Wilson that day. The professor was unable to eat, so I ordered for myself only a beefsteak.
Indeed. Ponies and poppycock.
After a while, the accused came over to greet the professor
and they got into a fierce argument. I'm sorry, Your Honor, but I'm translating the woman's speech. Then, not long afterwards, the accused took the professor's gun and shot him right before my eyes.
If you want to, I can say her lines if you want to. And yes.
I don't carry a gun myself, so obviously I couldn't have been the culprit.
Indeed.
That was my translation, Your Honor. This is... No! I don't have any kind of argument with the professor at all. What?
Quiet, you filthy wretch. Look at you, you black-hearted blackguard, and look at this snow-white angel. I'm even a dark-minded scoundrel like you can imagine whose words the court is going to believe. Not you, you sea urchin.
I don't even like fish. You're still making the same mistakes, Ryunosuke. You mustn't blood out when you're goaded like that. That's a lesson you need to learn. Oh, but he's so annoying. Of course, I was at the scene as well. I took statements from this lady and the 2 witnesses who testified before, and reported back to the Bureau.
Yes.
It was decided that Miss Brett was not involved, so I let her go.
But she was right there!
I know, right? The testimonies of the last 2 witnesses were completely worthless, however. Well, even so, on the day in question, the lady was wearing the same outfit as she is today. As you can see, there is no about her person where she could conceal a firearm. I wouldn't think she would hide a gun almost anywhere in that outfit if she wanted to.
I know, right? There's many places she could hide a gun.
Unless and until the precise location where the witness is to have hidden a weapon can be shown, this is moot.
There are no pockets in my outfit. I have nowhere to hide a gun.
Indeed.
Those are the witness's own words on the matter. This is ridiculous. If only I was allowed to lift up her dress, I could prove it. Don't think about doing anything rash, Ryunosuke. But I didn't fire the gun. I picked it up. There must have been another gun that day. You're right about that. Which means this lady was hiding a gun somewhere. Yes, that's what we have to prove now. And to do so, we will need to pull her testimony apart. She smiled! The defense may now cross-examine the witness. Oh, yes, Your Excellency.
Yes, Kiri says that entire speech was just yes. Yep.
A frightening and sorrowful sight.
Oh no.
Oh no.
I had arranged to meet for a sadly late luncheon with Dr. Wilson that day. The professor was unable to eat, so I ordered for myself only a beefsteak.
Indeed.
I don't like that statement. Press!
Yeah, why would she only... That's not a light lunch.
Women eat a salad with a glass of water! He
know.
was unable to eat, you say? And that was because he had just had a tooth removed at Hoda Clinic, correct? That's right. You're supposed to actually check with the witness before answering.
He didn't check with the witness.
Was Miss Barrett aware of that fact? It seems so, yes. She had heard that the professor was to have some dental treatment that day. So that would mean...
Rebecca says, what about her garishly big hat?
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, nowhere to hide a gun. She's got a huge hoop skirt on and a huge hat.
I don't know. We probably show the photograph, which shows the steak.
Plus, she's got huge sleeves.
Yeah.
And probably
Oh wait, no.
other places.
The photograph. The steak. This shows the steak, right?
Yeah, that has
That
a
just shows the
steak.
dead body. Or so does the
The
steak.
photograph.
Yeah. Oops.
Alright, people are saying press on the outfit. We'll try to get to that if they let us, guys. Thank you. She hardly ate any of it.
She did hardly eat any of the steak. Oops.
I don't know. I mean,
Okay, I think I did something wrong. So that would mean...
Oh, if you're gonna present evidence.
Yeah, I didn't want to do that. That was you who was, the one that ate the steak pictured here. Is that right, Miss Barrett? Brett? That's right, yes. The print you have there shows the table exactly as it was left after the horrifying events. Exactly as it was left.
Oh yeah, she has a purse too.
Dear me, what a harrowing experience! I'm so sorry, my dear lady, to have traveled to a distant island on the far side of the world and be embroiled in such a tragic event. Incident! Have no fear, my lady. I swear I will crush the evil fiend that has subjected you to this terrible plight.
So the victim, Dr. Wilson, had nothing to eat or drink at all? That is right. Other than some carbonated water. That is something to drink, though.
Yep.
Just water? Yes. The professor was unable to eat, but he had been given permission to drink water. So it appears that the diners toasted their lunch with a glass of water each. They raised a glass of carbonated water?
Yeah, but there's no glass there.
What do you think, Ryunosuke, about the witness's last statement?
It's meaningful because the picture only shows one glass.
Yeah, that's true. We'll do that one. Slap. That last statement of yours, Miss Brett, has a profound bearing on this case, I think.
Well, 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 how fascinating. Do tell us what this profound bearing is.
The water.
The significance of the statement will become apparent when the time is right, Ryunosuke. The defense calls for a witness' last statement to be formally added to the testimony.
Indeed.
Well sidestepped, counsel.
Very well, Miss Brett. Kindly repeat what you have said to be added to your official testimony.
Gladly,
She said. That was brilliant. Oh,
That was brilliant, Kazuma. I'm gonna remember that one.
which one exactly?
The significance will become apparent when the time is right. I could really use that phrase.
I'd hope there are some more useful tips you're picking up from this experience than that, Ryunosuke. Wow.
Wow.
I've noticed when he's angry, his headband doesn't blow in the wind.
I know,
Like
right?
Ryu style, yeah.
I ordered a beefsteak for myself, and then the professor and I said cheers over a glass of carbonated water.
Do you want me to do that or no?
Yeah. I appreciate that.
After a while, the accused came over to greet the professor, and they got into a fierce argument.
A fierce argument.
Indeed. Then, not long afterwards, the accused took the professor's gun and shot him right before the eyes. I mean, before my eyes. I don't carry a gun myself, so obviously I couldn't have been the culprit.
So she's maintaining that she got into an argument with the professor at which you shot him. Wait, what? She's maintaining that you got into an argument with the professor at the end of which you shot him. Which isn't way out there, totally didn't happen. Still her statement is very compelling. After all, she's an elegant, refined, young, and beautiful gentlewoman from Britain. In stark contrast to you, dressed from head to toe in dull black school uniform. I'm dressed exactly the same way you are, except for the flapping red ribbons. Well, anyway, this is our only chance to expose her testimony as the fiction that it really is. If we can do that, if we can't do that, well, this trial is over. Even you, with your thick skin, must be able to feel the murderous looks you're getting from around the room. Only too well, I feel half dead already. And the fact I can't even see a single inconsistency in her testimony isn't making me feel any better either. The first thing to do is to press her on any of her statements that seem even slightly off to you. Do that, and an opening will present itself, I promise you. I mean, I need to expose the true face of this exotic foreigner that's hiding behind the mask. That's what I should be aiming for this cross-examination.
That's right! Let's get her! I had arranged to meet for a slightly late luncheon with Dr. Wilson that day. I ordered a beef steak for myself, and the professor and I said cheers over a glass of carbonated water.
Don't like that statement.
Yeah, there's only one glass there.
Right, that's what I was thinking when we saw the photograph.
Present!
So both you and the professor drank this carbonated water, did you? Yes. Being the waiter, I poured the 2 glasses myself. I clearly remember doing so. Except you're actually a detective! And the beef steak, that was for you, Miss Brett? The lady says that she heard it was not customary to eat beef here until Japan opened its doors to the world. Yes, that's true.
But what does that have to do with if she ate it or not?
What a frightful place is this lady's opinion. And I've heard it's not customary to eat sesame in Great Britain. Now that's frightful. I think that's what it was. I don't know.
Sashimi.
Ah!
It's okay.
Every country has its own cuisine. As long as people have food to eat, what does it matter what it is?
Exactly, Cosmo.
True, come to think of it. The first time I ever tried carbonated water, it was much more of a shock than the first time I tried beef. But anyway, back to the witness's statement. Somehow, I feel like there's something out of place in what she said. We need to pounce on on even the slightest thing now, because you never know what might lead us to our goal. Our goal of turning this trial around. Understood, Kazuma. I think. Darn it!
After a while, the accused came over to greet the professor, and they got into a fierce argument.
No, they did not. I want to present evidence on this one.
Ordered a beef steak for myself, and the professor and I said cheers over a glass of carbonated water. Only one glass, of course.
Uh-huh. But there's only one glass in this picture. That's the problem. Where's the second glass?
I know. Where's the second glass, lady? Where is it?
That's it! Let me just confirm something, please. It's to do with this photographic print. Just a short while ago, you spoke of this print showing the victim's table to the crime scene. That's, it was exactly as I left?
Yes, quite. That is correct.
Is what the lady says. But, well, it's odd. Very, very odd.
Dear me, what's odd is the defense's inability to express itself.
Ryunosuke, what is about the print that looks so odd to you? Well, obviously, it's the cheers.
The cheers?
Miss Brett just told us that she and the professor said cheers over a glass of water, correct? But if that's true, there should be 2 glasses on the table, not 1. Ah! Oh. You're quite right, Counsel. There's only 1 glass pictured here.
That's right.
Are we supposed to be impressed by his nitpicking over minuet? I think.
Minutiae? I don't know.
What? I don't know. What possible difference does the presence of or absence of a glass make on this case?
Minutiae? I don't know.
Japanese word, you say? Ha! Could it be that the detective here removed a glass from the table to conceal the lady's presence?
I think it means like minute details.
Of course not. I would never do such a thing so reckless. But there should have been 2 glasses on the table.
That's right!
Are you going to try and tell me you can clink with only 1?
Exactly!
You're quite right. I certainly took 2 glasses to the table.
Hibba hibba. Hibba hibba. Hoo.
Inspector, what did the lady say? It would seem that it was Miss Brett who took the glass from the table.
Oh, yes.
What?
It was all so terrifying, everything that happened. I panicked, and I thought I should try to hide the fact that I'd been here at all.
Good gracious.
Yes, it was terrifying. Sorry.
Oh.
She can speak Japanese!
There I was assured the court before there is no consequence at all.
Oh, please.
We must remember that the student had just murdered this lady's luncheon companion before her very eyes. Who could blame her for concealing a glass or 2 in her state of disarray?
She stole a glass.
Yep.
That's absurd.
Oh, really?
Or...
So do we take it that you are now going to accuse this vulnerable, young, and beautiful woman of mischief?
Nani? No. This can't be put down to mischief. I'd like to know exactly how the lady took the glass from the scene.
I bet she poisoned him.
Hibba hibba hibba. Crumpets and lollipops.
It would seem that she slipped it into a small handbag she was carrying.
Oh, yes, indeed.
A handbag, you say? Yes, Your Excellency, a small handheld pouch commonly carried by well-to-do women in England.
So the beautiful lady was very graciously explained now, and she removed the glass from the scene. However, the fact remains that this glass has absolutely no bearing on this case. This student has been trying to confuse the court with logical reasoning, but in the end, it comes to nothing. No more pretentious accusations. You have wasted enough time already.
Indeed, the lady has ordered a satisfactory explanation as to why she removed this glass. I think, henceforth, we can consider the matter to have no bearing on this case. Consul, for defense, are you in agreement? I mean, she could conceal the weapon in the purse.
Yep.
Well, I don't really, If you want to pursue this matter further, you're going to need to show that it has some deeper significance, Ryunosuke.
He could have, been poisoned.
Yes, you're right. He was clearly shot, Amber. So, she took the glass away in her handbag. If there's a deeper significance here, I'm going to say the handbag. I don't think the glass really matters.
Okay, fine.
There's definitely a problem with that handbag. Boom.
Yeah, maybe it has the gun in it.
Wait, the lady put the glass in her handbag, you say?
Yes, do try to keep up, you upstarted fool. It's already been explained to the court that all English gentlewomen carry handbags for small items.
Let me see. A little while ago, Miss Brett stated the following.
That there was nowhere she could have hid a gun.
There was no pockets in my outfit. I have nowhere to hide a gun. Ooh.
Lies!
But what she forgot to mention was her handbag,
That's right.
in which it would be perfectly possible to conceal a gun. You're right.
Dun, dun, dun!
Well done, partner. I had a feeling you'd pick up on that, too.
What are you insinuating, you vile blackguard?
Yeah, she could have hidden the gun in the handbag.
It's very simple. The gunshot was heard when the defendant picked up the gun from the restaurant floor. As he didn't fire that gun, we can deduce that there must have been another firearm at the scene. The true murder weapon, if you will.
That's right.
You can't be seriously suggesting that,
Inspector!
Yep, she did tamper with evidence.
Yes? Did you or did you not search Miss Jazil's handbag on the day of the murder? No, sir, I did not.
You should have.
As I thought. In other words, another gun, the one that was actually used to kill the professor, could have been hidden in Miss Barrett's bag. Brett's.
Nani?
Dun dun dun! Objection!
Order! Order in this court!
What is the meaning of this, Inspector?
The meaning of what, Prosecutor Ouchie?
Why on earth did you not have the lady open her handbag and show you the contents at the time?
That's what I'm saying!
Thanks to your bungling incompetence, now she has to endure these uncomfortable accusations.
Brilliant work, partner. Now we have a chance to expose the real woman behind the mask.
Ooh.
Do you think so? Him. Oh my gosh.
Oh wow, is that guy okay?
Well, what a sorry situation. Clearly you have no faith in the police. As I said, I did not search the lady's handbag after the shooting. Simply because it was unnecessary.
No, it was.
Unnecessary in what way? I ought to thank the student lawyer, really. Wipe? I have a piece of evidence here that I had completely forgotten about. This photographic print. This print is a photograph that I would be prudent to take immediately after the shooting. As you can see, it clearly shows Miss Barrett's handbag. Brett's. Well, I never. You can see right through to the inside. That's right. Apparently, meshwork bags like these are the height of fashion in London at the moment. So the contents are clearly visible. Exactly. So there was no need to search the lady's handbag. If there had been a gun inside, it would have been immediately obvious. As you can see, there's nothing to imply Miss Brett's guilt here. I am sorry. Thank you for helping to prove that, Naruhodo-san. Oh!
Ooh.
Ah! Order! Order! Inspector, you will submit that print as evidence at once.
Alright, people are saying make sure to try to focus on something else in that picture. Yep.
Okay. Certainly, Your Excellency. The photograph of the handbag has been added into the court record.
We will examine the picture. Definitely, guys.
I think you've had long enough to cross-examine the witness counsel.
No, not enough. We still have more to say. Ryunosuke.
The court has now shown considerable evidence. As the photographic print has submitted into the court, record appears to have no further significance. I'm satisfied that there is no longer any room for doubt in this matter, and I must make my ruling.
No!
Indeed, and there is only one logical conclusion. That the pathetic rookie slumped over the bench before us is the only possible perpetrator of this crime.
No! Just when I thought I was beginning to turn things around. I'm in worse situation than when I was at the start. Buddy? I'm sorry, Ryunosuke. Now that the cross-examination of the witness is over, there's no way to force this trial to continue.
It's not over!
Nani? You mean this is it?
I must say you put up quite a fight for a rookie student, but the weak are meat, while the strong eat. You are wasting your time. There is no way to defeat true justice. Oh, crap.
Uh-oh, your voice.
My voice is going.
You need tea. You want a tea?
Possibly. A fact you can chew on your heart's content from the inside of your cell, boy.
This can't be happening. Am I really going to be found guilty of a crime that I didn't even commit? And Kazuma, his dream of going to study in Great Britain will slip through his fingers. Buddy. What? Is there really no chance now of turning this trial around? You heard the judge. There's nothing about the last photograph the detective produced that we can't contest. Which means there's no basis on which we can argue for the trial to continue. Very well. I will now proceed immediately to the ruling.
No!
It seems we were It seems we were able to report to the British government on time after all.
That smug little... Ryunosuke Naruhodo, having considered all of the evidence placed before me. What? Wait, Your Excellency! Ryunosuke, I don't think you can rule on this case yet.
The amateurishness is getting tedious. When His Excellency... When His Excellency deems that the trial's over, he gives his ruling, you buffoon. That is the most basic protocol of this courtroom.
Your Excellency, just a moment ago you said this. As the photographic print just submitted appears to have no further significance, there is no longer any room for doubt in this matter, and I must make my ruling. Now, that means that if there is a problem with the evidence, some significant detail, then the ruling on the case at this time would be out of the question.
That is a plant straw clutching. Look at this photographic print.
Thank you. Where did you get tea?
Amazon tea. Whatever you call it.
All it shows is the handbag the gentlewoman was carrying on the day in question. There can be no problem with this evidence.
You'd better know what you're doing, Ryunosuke.
Arizona tea.
I understand your objection, counsel. Certainly the new evidence submitted by the detective has not undergone the court scrutiny. However, I fail to see how we can glean any new information from this handbag.
Well, look at his hand.
My thoughts exactly, Your Excellency. Really, the prosecution is becoming tired of these rookies, despite desperate wheezes.
Yes, I am desperate, but this isn't a wheeze. There's something about this photograph which just doesn't seem right. If only I could put my finger on it. Very well, I will grant the defense one final opportunity.
What?
But be warned that if I am unsatisfied by your response here, this trial will be over with immediate effect. Do I make myself clear? Yes, Your Excellency. So, take another look at the photographic print. Can we just call it a photo? This is really getting annoying. Thank you for becoming a member. We really appreciate it.
It's because back then they didn't have photos. They had something else.
It's throwing me off, so it's a photo from now on.
Just call it photo.
Yep. So take another look at the photo, Inspector.
There's Arizona tea there.
Thank you. You will identify for the court where in this print we see the significant detail in which you have alluded.
His hand! It has an injury on it.
The hand?
Look at it. Look at his wrist. It has a huge gash on it. Well, what do you think?
I mean, there's nothing really in the handbag to look at. It's very curious that he has a mark on his hand.
I think it's his hand because I don't see anything else going on in the photo.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm kind of betting his life on this, but... I mean, there's a tiny splotch on the chair. The dot on the chair, but I don't think that's significant.
Okay. You will identify for the court where in this print. Okay, well, I'm trying to click on his arm.
Either that there's a tablecloth under there. Maybe they could have hidden the gun in the tablecloth. Well, I don't know where
I think I just have to, like, roll over this and then hit present. Let's see if this actually touches his arm.
There!
Look at this here. There's very unusual mark on the victim's wrist. That is true.
Thanks for becoming a member, Silver Leo!
It almost like a burn or of some description.
Dear me, I was pondering that new piffle you would come up with. A burn, you say, on the victim's wrist? Certainly that has nothing whatsoever to do with the magnificent lady's handbag.
Yes, that is a burn mark, you are right. Ah! Go on, Inspector. The police coroner also noticed it when he was performing the post-mortem examination. It was deemed unrelated to the cause of death, so he didn't note it in his report.
What did I tell you? In any case, we have no idea when the victim suffered this burn, now do we? And no possible way of knowing either.
Oh wow, look at that!
The more I look at it, the more I find myself intrigued by the curious shape of this mark.
Thanks for becoming a member, Silver Leo. You're breathtaking.
However, as a prosecutor Ouchie points out, unless a firm connection to the case can be shown, I cannot allow any further time to be spent on the precise details of this burn. Oh, my throat.
It's in the shape of a crumpets. Indeed.
Excuse me, Your Excellency.
Drink some tea, sweetheart.
It would seem Miss Brett has a lunch appointment with the dean and other university staff.
I'll do all the guy voices till you drink a sip of tea.
It needs to be warm. Cold tea is not going to help. She would like to know if I may be excused from the stand now.
Do you want me to go heat it up?
No, it's okay.
Of course, dear lady. We shan't hold you up any longer. We don't want you to miss your lunch appointment. I'm quite sure His Excellency is about to give his final ruling anyway.
What's your thinking on this, Ryunosuke? Do you believe the burn does have something to do with the case? To be honest, I'm not really sure. But if I don't keep pushing, then it's all over. So I was thinking I should keep digging and digging in the hope that I might uncover something useful. Yes, you're right.
I am?
If we can link that burn to the case, if we can do that, we might be able to prise the shutting door open once again. These old sayings are throwing me off.
Yeah.
Just give up, Counsel. You can't possibly hope to do that.
Indeed. I'm afraid that without evidence, I can't allow you to pursue this little more than conjecture. But if we had the evidence...
Oh, Battle Guy says the doctor report might say something about the scar.
Evidence that infutibly linked the burn to the victim's wrist to the case. Then you would allow it? I would, yes. To tell the truth, I hadn't noticed that burn. But as soon as you pointed it out, what I did notice was the color draining from Miss Barrett's face. Really? I have to find some link between that burn and the case.
Maybe the medical report would say something about
This
it.
is the moment of truth. The time to find some evidence that proves what the burn really means. So then, the defense will now present its evidence to the court. The evidence that demonstrates an
inextricable connection between the victim's burn and this trial. Well, should we look at
the evidence that demonstrates a connection between the victim's burn and this trial?
maybe we should look at the medical report and see if he mentioned a burn in that.
I mean, the medical report is just a,
Oh, it's just for his teeth?
It's just for his teeth, and that's not correct.
What other things can we examine? What is the orange card? Well, I don't know.
I would probably say the crime scene photo again, or...
Wait, what does her handbag look like? Does it have a mark that looks like a... Like what that mark is? Oh no, it's a rose.
No,
Never mind.
it's a rose and it's a
Never
see-through
mind.
bag.
Never mind. Alright, anybody?
I would say it would be either the crime scene photo or the photograph of the victim. That would be my guess. I mean, it's A or B, so I'm just gonna go... try this one.
Ryunosuke's life is on the line here.
I know, but I'm going with my gut. Let's try this. What's this, Consul? Yet another print? Yes, Your Excellency. I believe photo prints are an amazing invention. When we humans take a look at a scene, we miss things. But in photos, things we have overlooked at the time are recorded forevermore.
Do hurry up, rookie. What are you trying to say? To inconvenience this poor lady any further would really be quite inexcusable and the real crime. She's late for lunch.
Actually, we may need to stay with us a little longer if you don't mind, miss. Uh-oh. You see, it's clearly visible in this photo how the victim... how did the victim come to have that unusually shaped burn on his wrist? The reason is recorded here forevermore. What? How?
You can't fool me with your little bluffs, boy. If that's your game, then let's see how it plays out. Show the court exactly what you mean. What is it in this photograph that explains the reason for the victim's burn?
I see it now. The bull
What?
mark on the plate.
He got burnt. What?
The plate did it.
But why would he have the plate? Why would he have his hand on the plate? He's not supposed to be eating.
Also, if he burned his hand, wouldn't he have screamed? I'm thinking he was already dead. I mean, it's a wild goose, but I'm gonna say the plate.
Wow, that's so weird.
The beefsteak?
Actually, the point is the metal plate that the steak is served on. The plate?
Aha! Your Excellency, are you all right?
Actually, oh! As you can see, there's an emblem on the plate. I would guess it's some sort of trademark for the restaurant. Bah!
Yeah, why would he have his hand there if he's not supposed to be eating?
This emblem on the plate and the victim's burn are exactly the same shape.
Yeah?
Ryunosuke, you are a genius. You're spot on. Which means the victim must have suffered this burn while he was present at the restaurant.
Oh my gosh.
But even if that's the case, we can't know if it happened on the day in question or not. It could have been a day before, or the day before that. It was most likely that or some other unrelated time.
Well,
How do you know?
sadly, Prosecutor Ouchie, the chances of that are extremely slim.
That's right. It's not like
Thanks.
he would go to the same restaurant every day.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
The outline of the burn is clearly discernible, is it not? Such a serious injury would have caused quite a commotion in the restaurant. Wouldn't you agree, Inspector? I can't imagine having missed such a terrible disaster, certainly.
But. I would say,
looking at the picture of the wound, that it wasn't suffered very long ago. And although it's not particularly a large burn, it's extremely well defined, as the defense just pointed out. This was no mild burn, that's for sure.
Well,
Can you be more specific, Inspector? Well, let's see. If the plate was at around 90 degrees centigrade, a burn like that would have taken around 3 seconds. It's inconceivable that the victim wouldn't have let out a scream of pain then. I've been investigating at the restaurant for several weeks already, but I've not heard any scream at all. As the head waiter of the restaurant, I can testify to that without hesitation.
interesting.
But
So
you...
then he must have already been dead.
You're a detective! You're a detective, not a waiter!
He must have been already dead.
Mm-hmm. There you have it. Something isn't right here. As the detective said, anyone who burnt themselves on a piping hot plate for 3 whole seconds would scream in pain. There's no question of that. And yet the inspector never heard the professor scream. Not on that day or any before it. That's right. And the strange thing is, on the day he was shot, I didn't hear him cry out either.
Then he was already dead then too!
What are you suggesting?
He was brought there!
Well, if the professor had carelessly laid his wrist on the plate for anything like 3 seconds on that day, that would be beyond careless, I think, Consul. Then the rest of us in the restaurant, myself, the sergeant, the old antiques dealer, all of us wouldn't, without any question, have heard him scream. Wouldn't you agree, Prosecutor Ouchie?
Well, yes, I suppose.
Oh!
So the question is, why didn't a single person hear Dr. Wilson scream?
That's right.
I almost don't believe it, Ryunosuke. Do you think...
He was brought there.
Can it really be true? I never dreamt we'd arrive at the conclusion like this, but... I'm starting to think that maybe... we've been led into a terrible trap. No, because he
Whoa.
had a conversation with Ryunosuke before.
So
So
he
he was
was-
alive at one point in the restaurant.
So he was killed with poison and then he was shot.
Which would be why she stole the glass. That's an interesting theory. There's only one explanation I can think of that makes sense of this apparent impossibility. On the day in question, when he suffered the burn to his wrist, Dr. Wilson was already deceased.
Was already dead!
Was asleep.
Was deceased!
Okay.
Do you want to do the asleep?
No. No man could remain silent while his wrist was burning on a piping hot plate for 3 whole seconds.
Yeah!
That's clearly impossible.
That's right!
Apparent from one particular situation. Consul,
He was asleep! He was dead.
are you suggesting? Yes.
We should have done the asleep to see what they would have said.
It's only possible if the man was already dead.
Already.
Dead? Huh.
Nani?
Knowing what we know now, it's the only possible explanation, Your Honor.
Painkiller, says Rebecca. You could have taken a Tylenol.
Right. When the beefsteak was brought to Dr. Wilson's table that day, the professor was already dead.
Oh, he could have been on painkiller too.
That's madness!
His painkiller from his tooth could have made him not feel pain. I don't know.
Order, please, Consul. Explain this absurd notion at once. The victim was killed by a gunshot.
That's right. That's absolutely right, Your Excellency.
Whoa.
This is just another ridiculous ploy by the rookie student. But clearly he has no grasp of facts.
Oh no!
No, Prosecutor Ouchie. It is you who has no grasp of facts.
I beg your pardon?
As soon as it became apparent that the victim had suffered the burn while at the restaurant, this whole case was turned upside down! Or have you not grasped that yet? Your Excellency, the court must hear from this witness again! If it's true, as we now believe that the victim was already dead before the gunshot was heard, it's highly likely that Miss Brett knows something about it. Incredible. I certainly didn't anticipate this twist of events. I'm sorry to say, but you will miss your lunch, Miss Brett. That you will have to forget your luncheon engagement.
What?
Because you're going to be served justice.
But, Your Excellency!
This justice system in our country may be in its infancy, but rest assured, all reasonable doubt must be dispelled before I am prepared to pass judgment. Thank you, Your Excellency.
So be it. No, I don't know.
What was that smile?
Yes, of course. I mean, I'd be delighted to help.
Oh,
You speak Japanese!
Especially if it helps relations between my country and yours.
what?
Ah, Miss Brett, you speak Japanese?
Well, of course I do. I am studying in your country, after all.
But then why have you been speaking through an interpreter until now?
My mother tongue, the Queen's English, is the most refined and elegant language in the world. As a gentlewoman, I try to avoid speaking in your vulgar tones as much as possible.
Oh, snap.
Whoa! That's kind of country.
Yeah, that feels like a savage burn.
But it seems the men in this land possess none of the chivalrous virtues of English gentlemen. So I can see that I have to lower myself to communicating with you at your own level.
Dang!
Oh, well...
Evil.
You are the epitome of a true English gentlewoman.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be an English
A jerk.
lady, though? I've never heard of English gentlewoman. I've heard of English ladies, lords and ladies, gentlemen. Never heard gentlewoman.
We are truly honored by this.
I think that's a mistranslation.
Maybe it's supposed to be funny.
I don't think so.
The lavish consideration you have so graciously afforded us.
Put some water on that burn, says scientist. Yep.
I see. In that case, miss, I will now ask you to testify in your own words about the events leading up to the death of the victim, Dr. Wilson. So, we finally are going to hear her own words on the matter. Things are getting interesting, Ryunosuke. Oh my gosh.
Wow, I can't believe she pretended she didn't know how to speak Japanese.
The victim's death. Alright, Amber, you got this.
Unfortunately, I have no idea when the poor man burnt his wrist like that. When the waiter brought my steak, the professor and I raised our glasses in a toast. As far as I've heard, the post-mortem report showed no other possible cause of death besides the gunshot. If there's some other way a man's life can be taken without leaving a trace, please do show me. But of course, this country's inferior investigative techniques probably wouldn't pick up on it anyway.
Wow! That most captivating and beautiful testimony will go down in Supreme Court's history. Thank you. Easy does it.
I hope that this is the last time I will have to sully my lips with the coarse tones of your unbecoming tongue. Oh, forgive me. I do hope I haven't insulted anyone.
No, not at all. It was delightful merely to hear you speak, dear lady. And it seems very clear from your testimony that this boorish talk of the victim's burn is utterly irrelevant.
I will be speaking to your country's Minister of Justice about what has happened here today.
The Minister of Justice?
May that irritating little bully of a student be given the harshest punishment possible.
Dang.
Amen.
Wow. Huh? Thanks? Was that the prayer then? Well,
That was her prayer.
you have to forgive the
Irritation.
irritation, Miss Brett, and put up with the cross-examination now.
She is rude. Exactly.
I expect you've noticed that this little bully of a student, as you put it, doesn't miss much. I'm sure I don't need to remind you, Consul, that this will be your final cross-examination in this trial. If you fail to demonstrate any problems with this witness's testimony, I will be ruling on the case immediately. Is that clear? Woo! I don't know.
I don't know. he's like, get it together, man.
Yes, Your Excellency, I understand. Then you may proceed with your cross-examination. Now.
I think he meant to hit the bench, but he hit himself. Whoa,
Cross-examination.
this is getting intense.
I know, right?
The victim's death.
Unfortunately, I have no idea when the poor man burnt his wrist like that.
That doesn't seem interesting.
When the waiter brought my steak, the professor and I raised our glasses in a toast.
Okay.
As far as I've heard, the post-mortem report showed no other possible cause of death besides the gunshot.
Okay.
If there's some other way a man's life can be taken without leaving a trace, please do show me.
That's suspicious.
She's like taunting you.
Without leaving a trace.
If someone is shot, or strangled, or stabbed, or thrown from a height, however a person's life may be taken, there are always telltale traces on the body.
Quite right, dear lady. And, as our police force has thoroughly examined the body of the deceased, there can be no doubt. Isn't that right, Inspector?
As I've said, I always aim for a flawless investigation. There would be physical traces with all those causes of death, that's true. But maybe there's some other way of killing someone that doesn't leave a mark. Poison.
If, heaven forbid, you doubt me, young man, you're going to have to tell everybody how exactly you think the professor did lose his life. Otherwise, I'm afraid your argument falls rather flat, doesn't it?
Oh no, perish the thought, calling such a sweet young lady's innocence into question. On my honor, I, Ouchie, will cut down any who dare cast such suspicions.
A way of killing someone that leaves no trace. We need some evidence to back up this claim. Yes, evidence. Excuse me.
But of course, this country's inferior investigative techniques probably wouldn't pick up on it anyway.
That's really mean. Inferior? What do you mean by that?
Oh, well, in the lands of the Great British Empire, the police store everything found at a crime scene for later investigation. But in this country, you investigate once, and that's the end of it. Isn't that so?
Quite right. The restaurant is open for business as usual today, just days after the incident.
Exactly. Which means that even if the investigation takes a different direction, vital evidence may be lost.
Did she poison that guy too?
I think so, yeah.
It doesn't even occur to your naive detectives to try to preserve the crime scene.
I mean, it's possible that he drank the water as well as other people.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I don't think he's an accomplice. I think he's a victim.
I'm trying to be as tactful about this as I can. You understand.
Ha! A killer blow! The lady is as formidable as she is beautiful.
Amazing. He's actually admitting our police may be flawed. Perhaps Prosecutor Ouchie is finally starting to see sense? I very much doubt that. Still, there's something about what the miss just said. There was a moment before when something didn't seem quite right. No, I'm bleeding my own blood.
Yeah, why is that guy bleeding?
What do you
So
think,
creepy.
Ryunosuke? I think it's going terribly. No matter how much I press her, I'm not turning up any new information. Yes, as I suspected, she's a tough witness. We need to find a way to break her testimony, or cross-examination will be over. But that would mean I have to find a way. There must be some clue somewhere to help us find a clink in her armor. Kazuma? What? Is there one thing I noticed, something that's been bothering me? Bothering you? You mean about the miss? Actually, no. About the person standing next to her. The inspector. The detective? Yeah. He seemed to react a little strangely to Miss Brett's last statement. I was wondering if it might be significant if I might present an opening, maybe? Alright, I have an idea. Try pressing her on the last statement one more time. If you think so, but this time, instead of targeting the woman, it's herself. Let's see what we can get out of the detective. Alright then, I wonder what my buddy's thinking. I'll find out soon enough, I suppose, once I press the miss again on her last statement again.
Alright, the chat wants to see the glass. They said they want us to try to get the glass. And also they said, ouchie's a simp.
And wow.
When the waiter brought my steak, the professor and I, as far as I've heard, the post-mortem report showed no other possible causes of death. If there's some other way a man's life can be taken without leaving a trace, please do show me.
Was that her last statement? No, that's not her last statement. She has one more.
But of course, this country's inferior investigative techniques probably wouldn't pick up on it anyway.
We can...
You were supposed to press her again. Inferior? What do you mean by that?
Oh, well, in the lands of the Great British Empire, the police store everything found at the crime scene for later investigation. But in this country, you investigate once, and that's the end of it. Isn't that so?
Wait! I thought we were supposed to press her last statement again.
Exactly. Which means that even if the investigation takes a different direction, vital evidence may be lost. Why are you coughing?
Yes, there it is again!
Press!
The detective's reaction is just the same as before. Why? Up until now, the detective has been in the stand with Miss Brett as her interpreter. But things are very different now. For this testimony, the detective is just listening to what the English woman has to say. This could be a golden opportunity. What do you mean? When people are actually testifying, they're usually very careful not to let anything slip up. However, when they're listening to someone else speak, you'll find they often let their guard down. You're right, look at him. He's lost in his own thoughts. Right.
Press him!
It's time to pursue the man and his train of thought. Sorry? Pursue? I'll explain how to do it now, Ryunosuke. It's all to do with the witness marker. What marker? The balloon on his head, right? At the moment, we're focused on the miss here, who's the person actually making the current statement. This is a very long tutorial. But by moving the marker left and right like this, you can turn your attention to other people in the stand. While you're looking at the other witness, you'll be able to pursue them with X. If you can catch the person at the right time, you might uncover some new information to pursue. If you ever notice a strange atmosphere amongst the people on the stand, take a good look around. Alright then, so first I should move the marker across with the buttons to pursue him with X and see what's on his mind? Here we go! Okay. Okay, I want to move over to him. I'm trying to move over. Aha! There we go! Then I pursue this guy, I think. X. Excuse me! What? What is the meaning of this? Oh, I'm bleeding my own blood. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to shock you. He really was lost in his thoughts deeply. It looked like you were thinking something just now, Inspector. Perhaps having heard what the lady next to you had to say? If there's something you'd like to say, please share it with the court.
What is the meaning of this? It is the delightful Englishwoman. It is the delightful lady who's testifying at the moment. If you can't find fault with her testimony, then the cross-examination should be over immediately.
Oh, is that how it works? Absolutely not. The detective is in the stand, which makes him a valid witness.
That's right!
Right. Yes. Not to mention the fact that he's, intimately involved in the case. Inspector. Yes, Your Honor. Do you have something to add in relation to the statement made by the miss? Well, yes, if you don't mind, I would like to speak. Uh-oh. The lady is right. Our country's police practices are not as modern as those used in Great Britain. Which is why I, myself, have always strived to make every investigation I'm involved in flawless. What do you really mean by that? I'll tell you what I mean. I won't have evidence lacking on my watch. I'm not afraid to take everything I can from the scene of the crime. It's preserving evidence, you see. I don't care if they call me a crime scene thief. I am not ashamed of what I've done. Oh gosh, this guy's gonna die. On the stand. A crime scene thief? Well, it looks like the lady's remarks touched a nerve there. Take this for example. Oh! Is that... This is the bottle of carbonated water that I took to the victim's table on the day in question. And yes, it's lost all of its fizz, having been opened 3 days ago now. But it was carbonated water. I don't care what anyone says. Yes, there is some left in the bottle. I can see it. One day our police force will be among the best in the world. The time is coming, I guarantee it. Please don't die, dude.
Oh no, he's not okay.
I can't say I condone the witness's action, but I do understand the sentiment. The court will accept the glass bottle of water as evidence. The carbonated water has been added into the court record. Miss Brett? Can you confirm this is indeed the bottle from which you drank on the day of the victim's death?
Yes, it was that bottle.
What was that about? She seemed to avert her eyes when she answered the question from the judge. Very well. Consul, you may resume the cross-examination. And the inspector will kindly control his, fervor?
Fervor.
Ahem. Okay.
Unfortunately, I have no idea when the poor man burnt his wrist like that.
Okay.
When the waiter brought my steak, the professor and I raised our glasses in a toast. As far as I've heard, the post-mortem report showed no other possible causes of death besides the gunshot.
Interesting.
Do we have the ability to examine the bottle?
Yep.
Okay. I mean, if it's poison, then it would be this bottle, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Also, wouldn't poison fizz in water? Maybe it wasn't carbonated water after all. I don't know.
I don't know.
The label is written in a foreign language that I don't recognize. Do you know what it says, buddy? I think it's French. This must be very expensive water. Yeah, but what does it say? That's what I was asking. And then go to France and ask. You could just say that you don't know either.
Maybe the waiter knows.
You think the waiter knows?
I mean, he works there. I don't know.
So this carbonated water is the last drink Dr. Wilson had. So it looks like there's a little left in the bottle, although it's plain water now. You know, I've been sweating so much, I'm absolutely parched.
No!
I'll just have a sip of this to keep me going. No, Ryunosuke, you can't do that. For one thing, it's evidence. You can't go drinking evidence. Oh no, you're right. We don't know what might be inside, do we? You never cease to amaze me. In more ways than one. Huh? I wonder, could there be anything in this water? What's the matter? You've gone quiet all of a sudden. I think I might have just worked something out. An interesting possibility, that is. Huh?
People are saying cyanide.
But how would you check what's inside the bottle?
Well, you could just tell them that it could have been.
I can't find anything out of place.
You could just present it and be like, there could be something bad in this, and ask them to take it to the lab.
Do they even have a lab?
I don't know.
So this carbonated water is the last drink. Oh, we already went through this. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I guess we'll present the bottle and see what happens. No, you can't do that. And then he's like, you're right. I don't want to drink it. I don't know what's inside. That's the hint. Well, I mean, we have tons of strikes still, so if it's wrong, then, you know, I'm going to go with my gut. Well, what about that last statement made by the witness? It seems perfectly reasonable to me.
Present the bottle, the chat says.
Exactly. Perfectly reasonable in every way. Perhaps you should take a leaf out of the witness's book and learn to be more reasonable yourself. But I'm trying to show something about the bottle. Alright, I need to calm down and think everything through again from the start. How do I present the bottle as evidence?
You're supposed to push a triangle on it.
I did. I did.
Are you sure? Because it looked like you kind of put... You were off the bottle.
As far as I've heard, the post-mortem report showed no other possible cause of death besides the gunshot.
Present! R1.
If there's some other way a man's life can be taken without leaving a trace, please do show me.
I think it would be this one.
Okay, present R1 then.
Because there she's basically challenging the court. Try the bottle again. What is this? The bottle of water? Actually, there's one method of killing a man without leaving a trace that comes to mind, Your Honor. Oh. Obviously, I'm referring to poison. Poison? On the day of his death, we know that Dr. Wilson drank from this bottle of carbonated water. Could it be that there was poison inside? Could it be that the professor actually died after taking a sip from his glass? Ooh, now we're getting somewhere. Order! Order! Order!
The music stopped. That means it's correct, says OH.
And on that day, who was sitting at the same table as the professor, able to slip the poison into his drink? There's only one person who could possibly have done it. You! Jazeel Brett! It was you!
This is outrageous to suggest such a thing without a scrap of evidence! You little rookie imbecile! Have you even considered the delicate situation our country finds itself in now? Have you forgotten that we have only just signed an accord of friendship with the British Empire? Have you even the vaguest inkling that your rash accusations could jeopardize our entire treaty?
This is not a political arena. This is a trial to determine one individual's guilt with respect to one crime.
What?
The fact that this woman is British makes no difference. We are here to determine the truth.
If I may.
I will silence you forever for this disgraceful...
It is you who should be silent.
Of course. What is happening? I'm sorry, dear lady.
Oh, she's really not nice.
Where did that come from? She just snapped.
I'm afraid I may have spoken unfairly before. I offer my most humble apologies.
I'm sorry, my lady. To what are you referring?
I described your police force as inferior. But no matter how inferior they may be, you still investigated this particular point thoroughly, I believe. The bottle, I mean, Inspector, and whether it contained poison or not.
Of course. You did? Have you forgotten that my guiding principle is already? I strive for a flawless investigation every time. I don't believe it! Naturally, we tested the inside of the bottle and its contents. And? What did you find, Inspector? I order tests for every toxin available in this country at the present time. We could find no trace of poison of any description in the bottle of carbonated water, Your Excellency. Dang. What?
Whoa.
Are you sure? The tests were meticulously carried out by the chief coroner himself. No! Nani!
I'm very grateful to you all, you Japanese. You've successfully established my complete innocence in this horrid affair. Thank you.
But of course, dear lady, the pleasure was all ours. I am no simp.
I was so sure. This can't be right.
Maybe it was the glass.
Everything falls into place. If he was poisoned... Thank you, Consul. I think that cross-examination has clarified everything. As the prosecution has asserted, a shot to the chest from the gun is the only conceivable cause of death. Furthermore, the accused, who is by his own hand admission was holding this weapon, is the only possible culprit. I'm done for!
Don't worry, Ryunosuke.
The court wishes to apologize for the great inconvenience that was caused to Miss Brett.
Oh no! I'm just glad the matter is resolved.
Before proceeding, I must ask the consul for the defense.
Check the glass.
Do you have any further evidence to present the court at this point?
The glass.
Kazuma? Oh, I'm sorry, Ryunosuke. I have nothing more.
Well, if you'll excuse me now, I must really be leaving.
Wow. What?
Hold it!
Who said that? Wah!
Please, wait.
Huh? Isn't that... What is the meaning of this?
Forgive me for intruding on court proceedings, Your Excellency. Susato Mikotoba, Judicial Assistant to the Defense.
Mikotoba? In my darkest hour, with nowhere left to go, she appeared like a bolt of lightning. And in her hand, she carried a small package wrapped in some type of cloth. Oh! Excellent. All right, that is it.
Now a real lady enters the courtroom. Instead of that poser lady. Who wasn't very polite at all.
Save your progress. Oh my
Well,
gosh.
it's not very ladylike at all.
I know. Wow. This is very interesting. All right, guys and gals, that is going to do it for this exciting episode.
Yes, it's Maya 2.
It's Maya 2. That's right. It is Maya 2. Oh my gosh.
And thank you so much for becoming a member, Silver Leo. New member hype. He said membership, becoming a member is new for me.
Thank you very much. We very much appreciate it. Whoopsies.
And Silver Leo, well, I mean, I keep like embarrassing him or whatever, but because of Silver Leo's donation, I get to play Monster Hunter Stories too. So
Yes.
yeah, thank you so much, Silver Leo, for becoming a member. Thanks to all our members and patrons and people on Twitch on the chat, and thank you guys, everyone hanging out here, for all the awesome tips. Battle Guy, OH, Kiri, and Dr. Clue, and everyone that Country Girl, everyone that's been helping us out here. Rebecca, thanks guys for all the awesome tips.
So at the end of this episode, guys, make sure that you leave a comment down below telling us what your favorite part of this live Let's Play is. And just a reminder, this is a live Let's Play, so Amber and I do our best to perform live in front of you guys, providing the dub of the characters, trying to solve the puzzles. If we got really, really stuck, we would definitely help you guys for assistance, because, you know, that's a given. But for the most part, I think we're doing pretty well. There's been a couple errors, but we still have some life left in this trial. Chapter 3 will be tomorrow for the Great, I think it's called the Great Departure. And then some other exciting stuff will be happening. So thank you so much for watching. We hope you guys had a lot of fun. The playlist will be updated, of course, where you guys can go back and watch these episodes. These episodes can run anywhere between 2 hours to like an hour and a half, so this was a shorter episode. I'm going to go eat. And then, of course, Skyward Sword will be starting up around 6:45, so you can migrate over there, and we really appreciate you guys watching. We had over 185 people for this stream, so you guys are amazing. Please leave a comment to help with engagement, and if you want to join our channel, or rather our official website, kwingsletsplays.com, you can get a notification through our free newsletter telling you all the stuff that's happening on the channel for that day, conveniently to your email. In one, great spot. But thank you, everyone. Thank you, Capcom, again. We're loving the game so far. We hope you are as well. And we will see you on Skyward Sword in a little while. Until then, God bless and happy gaming. Thanks so much for watching the great Ace Attorney Chronicles, only on K-Wings Let's Plays.
See ya!